Everyone, I'm Dr. Danita, and welcome to Baggage Claim Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita. If you missed any of the episodes from season 1 or 2, they're all uploaded on my YouTube channel, and this would be a good time to play catch up. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You can also follow me on Instagram and like my Facebook page. All of that information is below. Guess what? Season 3 is around the corner. And backed by popular demand, the topic is deal breakers. That's relationship deal breakers. And we're going to ask the question, do you know your breaking point? As a licensed marriage and family therapist, I work with many couples who I think should have broken the deal day one or should have never gotten into the deal. And then I work with some who are trying to break deals that are workable. And so we're going to talk about various topics that people may view as deal breakers, and we'll ask the question, deal or no deal? Kids, deal or no deal? Addictions, deal or no deal? Or are all addictions equal? You have alcohol, drugs, gambling, food addictions, shopping addictions, porn addictions. And so deal or no deal? Submission, to submit or not to submit? That is the question. Deal or no deal? So you don't want to miss this season 3 deal breakers. I'm looking forward to joining with you. So go ahead and like and share with all of your family and friends, and join me now. Baggage Claim, Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita. Well, good evening, everyone. As you are coming in, let's do what we do. Like and share, give the thumbs up, give me some hearts. If you are a fan, go ahead and type in, I'm a fan. And if this is your first night watching Baggage Claim, Unpack Your Bags with Dr. Danita, go ahead and let us know where you're watching from. I'm excited about tonight's topic. This is episode 3. We are in season 3, episode 3, and tonight we are talking about once a cheater, always a cheater. No, it's a question. No, I'm not saying that once a cheater, always a cheater. It's a question. Once a cheater, always a cheater. We're going to talk about that tonight and see what our guests say. We have some amazing guests. Before we bring our guests on, I just want to remind you that if you missed any of our previous episodes, go ahead and go over to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, Dr. Danita. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you will get all of the reminders for future episodes. So tonight we have 3 guests, one in the studio, Gianna Bynum. Thank you so much, Gianna, for being here.
No problem. I'm glad to be here.
And we have Valerie Mason.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Valerie. Awesome. And we have Richard Chavez. Hey, Richard, how are you?
Hi, everyone.
Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Last week, I gave a little bit of definition. I think it's important for us to talk about the difference between preference, red flags, deal breakers. And so we're talking tonight about deal breakers, not about, preference in relationship. I really would like this, but if I don't get that, it's not going to make me decide not to get into this relationship. Red flags are those things that you kind of tuck away in the back of your mind and you say, I better watch this for a little while. And if things don't change, then we need to deal with it, or we need to possibly go to counseling in reference to this. But then there are the deal breakers. And that's what we're talking about tonight. The deal breakers are, I'm done. I can't go on with this, or I'm not going to get into this. This is not something that I'm willing to accept. And so the question tonight is, do you think that once one cheats, that they will always cheat, and therefore it becomes a deal breaker? So we have various experiences with our guests on tonight. Each of them have a story. And so we're just going to get into it. We know that with this particular topic, there are varying degrees of thoughts. And so some people do say, I don't agree that people who cheat are going to always cheat. There are times when people have make a turnaround, with their life and make a decision that they're going to be faithful and fidelity will be what they ascribe to. But then there are other people that just don't believe that a cheater can overcome their lifestyle of cheating. So we're going to get into this. Where do you stand? Let us know your thoughts about this topic of once a cheater, always a cheater. Let's start. Go ahead. Anybody, where do you stand? Does the story
Well,
matter? Does the type of cheating matter?
well, Dr. Nita, I'll address that. And the thing is, if you had asked me this question 35 or 40 years ago, my answer would be very different from what it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a point in time prior to getting married and in the early stages of my marriage when I said, yeah, that is an absolute deal breaker. If he cheat, I am out. But after having been married for 40 years and after having dealt with infidelity, my answer is very different because I firmly believe that that is an erroneous statement. I do not believe that once someone has cheated, that is going to be their MO for the entirety of the relationship.
Right.
So I don't believe once a cheater, always a cheater.
All right. So we have one who doesn't believe once a cheater, always a cheater. What are you saying, Gianna?
Well, considering that I'm not married, once a cheater, always a cheater. He come back. He come back.
You on the fence still? You on the fence? All right, Richard. Gianna's passing it to you. She wants to come back.
Well, my belief, once a cheater, always a cheater. Uh, Not necessarily always the case. Some people do learn from their past. I've been in a relationship where I have been the recipient of a mate cheating, um, and I must say that I don't believe that this person still does it, but for me, it was a lesson learned. It damaged me moving forward. Um, with a lot of people that I interact with to this day, and I work in the field of behavioral studies and all that, and I noticed that my issues are highlighted when I'm working with individuals that deal with that. Trust, just mainly that's the big issue. Trusting whether or not you can share yourself or your thoughts with somebody else, and that they're not going to use them to manipulate them or get their own way out of it. So, but it also it teeters because you don't want to always believe that everyone is like that. So my mindset is once a cheater, always a cheater. Not necessarily, but you have to work through you so that you can see the light in someone else.
Yeah, sounds like in the field we call it countertransference. Sound like you might have some of that you are working through, but the opposite
Still am, yeah.
working through.
Still am.
Yeah. May I piggyback on that, Dr. Danita?
Sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on something that Richard said. And I know when I am counseling couples, when there has been marital infidelity in their relationship, I have to constantly check myself. I have to constantly reflect so that countertransference does not occur, especially when it's the man who has cheated, because it would be very easy for me to identify with the female in the relationship and become biased. So in order to prevent that from happening, I have to do a constant check-in with myself. and ask myself honestly, okay, Val, what are you feeling, and what's coming up for you while you're dealing with this couple? Can you be objective throughout this counseling process? So I agree with what Richard said, that that's a very important aspect in this particular field that we're in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And even dealing with self, and you're absolutely right. Every day is a challenge for everyone to try to meet people, to try to meet each other where we're at.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we are so caught up in our own psyche that we just think we think we have the answers, but then when you see your answers being displayed to another individual, it's like, oh, I don't have it right. I don't have it right. So you don't want to mess yourself up moving forward with being with someone based off of past experiences. So
Right.
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. I believe it does. But once a cheater, always a cheater doesn't always necessarily mean that you're going to always be in that mindset. A lot of people, I can tell you this from my perspective, that because I've been cheated on, I have cheated on. So, and it does not build, it doesn't, to have that mindset, once a cheater, always a cheater, doesn't build a healthy mindset moving forward with being with anybody. And I don't mean just in a romantic relationship. I mean, in any type of relationship. So at this stage in my life, I'm single, and I'm single on purpose. I'm trying to reflect more on what Richard needs versus on what someone else needs. That way, when I go into a new relationship, I'm not dragging in no baggage.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Mm.
Gianna?
I do believe that, people can change with the proper help, with the proper guidance, prayer, counseling, all that good stuff. So, no, once a cheater is not always a cheater. However, it takes a lot.
However,
it takes a lot of relationship building, trust, prayer.
Yes,
Like I said, you
yes.
just got to lay it all out. Lay it out on the floor. You lay out on the floor too, and just ask for forgiveness. And forgiveness is very important.
Can I piggyback on Joanna? Can I piggyback on what you're saying?
Yes.
I totally agree. I agree and disagree, because yes, you do have to do a lot within a relationship. You have to do a lot of building, characteristic building between the two individuals. But back on what I said on working on self, if you can't dissect what the other person went through, and versus what you went through, and that's where we go wrong. We try to compare and contrast based off of our own experiences, and we create more experiences that are not good or healthy based off of the addition to your own issues. So I'm dating A and I'm B. I'm dating A, and A has a whole bunch of issues that she went through, in life with relationships, and not necessarily cheating, but just relationship in general, and they weren't healthy. And now B, me, I've dealt with my own, and now we're coming together, and we're both taking messy and putting it together to create more mess. I believe you got to work on self before you can say, hey, listen, we're going to be in a relationship. We're going to work it out. We're going to make this work. We're going to get the best tools, the best counseling, the best help we can get, so that we can proceed and move forward and have a healthy relationship. But you can't do that if you both are damaged. You can't. You got to know what you want before you can be with somebody, that you want to be with.
Right. Yeah. It depends on where you are when the cheating happens. You could already be full on in your relationship. And so if you're already in your relationship and you're choosing to stay in it, then a lot of that work happens together. There is a lot of individual work to take place, but you're already in a relationship. So a lot of that work will happen together. I would say if you haven't entered into a relationship and you find out that there has been, cheating in the past or whatever issues that, like you are indicating, Richard, then yes, work on you and don't even think about the us until, you work on yourself. But it's different when you're already in a relationship.
But you're talking to a man who was married for 13 years. I'm sorry. And I agree with you, Dr. Danita, but at the same time, me and my ex, she came from where I was her first. You know, we did everything brand new together from her perspective. But from my perspective, I had been engaged before. I've had I've dealt with a pregnancy, a lost pregnancy with another female before. I had dealt with infidelity, whereas she's never dealt with any of those issues. I had already been through everything that she can fathom in her mind that could possibly happen to her. So now we're in a marriage, in a 13-year marriage that there was a lot of ups and downs because I had been through things that she had not, and my trust had been gone. Now this is the one who had never experienced being with another man so in such a serious relationship, and I put all my pain towards her because I was focused more on what I had been through and scared that she was going to do it. So at the end of the day, my 13-year marriage didn't work out, and we remained friends, thank God. But it didn't work out based off of things that I had dealt with in the past. Now, we never cheated on each other. We never did anything outside of the marriage. It was mainly, military. She was military, and things just didn't work out. But she suffered. She suffered for what I had went through in the past, and that wasn't fair to her.
Valerie and myself, we're both married. We both work with married couples. Valerie has a ministry called Marriage Beyond the Breach. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, so I hear exactly what you're saying. I would, if I was your friend at that time, I would have said, run to the counseling house and get some therapy.
Yes.
You and your wife,
Absolutely.
so that both of you could work through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that 100% because, it's only by the grace of God that my husband and I are still together after 40 years. We were young when we got married. Neither one of us knew what we were doing. I had trauma, unprocessed trauma, sexual trauma that I was dealing with. We had no clue what we were doing. He was young. He was immature. He hadn't experienced a whole lot. So really and truly, it was a recipe for disaster. So
that's going to be the title of my first book, A Recipe for Disaster.
Really?
Amen.
Don't nobody say that.
We need that. We need that.
Yeah. But throughout the course of our marriage, we had to do a lot of work collectively as a couple and individually, especially after the infidelity occurred. Because, sometimes people think that all of the work, it has to be done on the part of the cheater. Not so, because the person who's cheated on has work to do also.
Right.
Because, it doesn't happen. Infidelity doesn't happen in a vacuum. There are contributory factors that are involved. So even the person who's cheated on has work to do if they are deciding to stay in the relationship. If you're cheated on, you have to decide, okay, I have to forgive. How hard is that for me? How easy is that for me? Learning to trust again. That's work. Because it just doesn't happen overnight. The person has to earn the trust. But the one who's cheated on has to be open enough to accept the work of the cheater so that trust can be restored.
Yeah.
Agree. But we have to go back a little bit before that sometimes too. You're absolutely right. We need to be able to take accountability is what I'm getting from you for ourselves to come together, and be able to work through whatever issues we're dealing with. But what if the issues, this is what I was talking to Dr. Danita about, what if the issues do not pertain to that specific individual, but you're lashing out? You're making a cheater, you're creating a cheater based off of what you've been through. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. And I think I understand what you're talking about. And that kind of fits with me and my husband's situation, because like I said, I had a lot of unprocessed sexual trauma when I entered into the relationship. And it caused me to be insecure. It caused me to always like right on top of him. I needed to know where are you? What you're doing? And that created a very hostile and unwelcoming and unloving environment. Now, that does not excuse his cheating.
Absolutely.
But it can
factors.
It can help to explain what may have contributed to it. So absolutely, I recommend everybody should get some counseling, especially before you get married. Talk about all that stuff, because you bring all that stuff into the relationship, and it's impactful, and there are repercussions to be had down the line.
That's the recipe. Yes, that's the recipe.
Well, we
Mm-hmm.
have gotten like really deep into this conversation already. We just jumped right in there.
Yeah.
I do have a question though. So statistics say that the women cheating, the statistics of women cheating, the percentage is rising, but the
Yes.
percentage of male cheaters is still higher than women cheaters. I
Yeah.
have, and sometimes I feel very, my heart hurts for these women that come to me and literally they say, I just have to figure out how to navigate because all men cheat. And so I'm going to get into
Yeah.
marriage and I already know that he's going to cheat. I'm just going to have to figure out how I'm going to
How to deal
navigate
with
that.
it.
Yeah, and how I'm
Yeah.
going to deal with this. So, what are your thoughts about that? Like, girls today really do not believe that there is fidelity, that men will not cheat.
Yeah.
I have,
Even though I have been cheated on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop for a minute. I see Joanna.
No,
Gianna wanted to
you're
say something.
fine.
I don't want to talk too much. Go ahead, sis.
First things first, the women who say that probably need to run to the counselor, the couch immediately. However, secondly, no, women are very, I'm not speaking for myself and I'm not speaking for all women, okay? Let's just make that clear. But, men are easy to get caught cheating. Like, it's easy for a man to get caught cheating. Women, we're very smart with how we maneuver in life and maneuver around things, if you get what I'm saying, for the women, in the back. So I feel like if women are going out to cheat, that man is lacking something that they need emotionally, physically, mentally, and they're trying to find in someone. I'm not saying it's right. However, yeah, okay, I'm done.
But what is the, what,
Okay.
but do all men cheat?
said it's
No,
you're
no.
No.
Speaking for myself,
No.
I have a man. We've been together for 4 years, and he has never cheated on me. But I also, what I don't know won't hurt me. But he's very open. He's very open. That was the OG on it. He's very open with me. Like, we're open with each other, and it has worked. And even throughout college, he ain't cheat on me. So, not all men cheat, Can't speak for the majority.
Gianna slid in that comment, what you don't know won't hurt.
It won't. I'm just saying. I'll stay saying.
Yeah, well, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
because you're gonna find out.
No, I disagree with that. That what you don't know can't hurt you, because it could still be hurting you, and you haven't just found out yet how the ways in which it's hurting you.
Yeah, we got
but
STDs
just to answer
out
the
there.
question, though. Yeah, just to answer the question, though, no, I do not believe that all men cheat. Even though I have been cheated on, I do not believe that. And like you, Dr. Danita, it makes me sad for women who have that perspective, because then that begs the question, who have been their role models? What have they seen? Have they only seen unhealthy relationships? That says to me they haven't seen yet a healthy relationship where neither spouse cheats.
Right.
And that's heartbreaking. That's very heartbreaking.
Can I add in?
I do
Can I
ask
add
that
in?
question, Valerie. I ask, have you seen a model of fidelity? And a lot of them say they haven't.
Right.
And that's where they come
haven't.
to draw the conclusion that they won't find anyone.
But I disagree, Dr. Nita, because most people do get a view of fidelity. I mean, we have grandparents, and for our generation, we have grandparents, aunts, uncles, people who have been married, whether it was a healthy marriage or not. We know what fidelity is. We know that two people together stay together. We just learn we learn unhealthy habits within it, stating like being together and being possibly being abusive or something like that. But we do know that there can be a relationship with two individuals that are only with each other. They just have unhealthy habits within it. That's what we're taught growing up. My thing is, the statistic portion. You said that men are more prone to cheat than women. That's not true. Well, I'm not gonna say it's not true. I don't know. But I can agree to disagree. Let's say that. I notice women do cheat. They just don't cheat with another person. And this is back on what I was sharing about my marriage. My wife never cheated on me with anybody, but that job came before me. Yeah. That's cheating.
So so there's different.
I agree with that, Richard.
That there are different types of of cheating, and the list, that it's not just emotional relationships or sexual, having sex with another man or another woman. So yes, there are other ways of being unfaithful, I should say. So
fidelity.
I think when people think about cheating, they think about infidelity in terms of intimate relationships. But you are absolutely right.
Well,
the statistics I quoted.
May I say something here?
Yeah. Just this 1 second. The statistics I quoted was in reference to sexual contact.
Okay.
All right, Valerie.
But Dr. Danita, I think to piggyback on what Richard said, that's why I think it is very important for each couple to decide for themselves what constitutes cheating. Yes. Because it's not the same thing for every single couple. Because in my relationship, I may see one thing as cheating, but for another couple, they may not see it as cheating.
Right.
So every couple has to decide. And from my perspective, I think cheating is anything that diminishes, interferes with, or takes priority over the covenant that exists between the husband and the wife. That could be anything. And like Richard said, it doesn't have to be a person per se. It could be a thing. If one spouse, let's say they're into golf, and that's all they want to do, and they prioritize that, or spending time with their spouse, that's diluting the covenant. Yeah. That's putting priority on something else outside of the covenant. So in that regard, that couple, that would be cheating.
Yes, Dr. Valerie.
So would the things that fall on that list, would you consider those deal breakers? Do people typically consider those types of cheating or being unfaithful a deal breaker?
I didn't at that time. Today, September 2021, yes, that's a deal breaker.
You mean things like porn or
anything that takes you outside the covenant of the relationship? You said it right, Dr. Valerie. Anything that takes you outside the covenant of the relationship, I can deal with anything as long as you take me with you. But if you're not taking me with you, I don't want to be with you.
I like that. I don't know if I want to go anywhere. I gotta qualify that, but I do want to go with you.
And that's gonna be in my book. That's gonna be in my book, The Mind of Me. Okay. Look out for it. Yeah.
Those of you who are on live, I think I'm looking at comments, but I'm not sure if I'm seeing them all. But go ahead and weigh in. This conversation is really good. And so we want to hear what you have to say as well. And so let's get into, I know you shared, kind of like generally that you were cheated on or you had some infidelity going on in your marriage. Valerie, is there anything else you wanted to kind of add to that story in being transparent?
Yes, absolutely. I have no problem with sharing our story, and it's our story. Because you know what, to God be the glory, we are where we are right now. But there was a lot of infidelity in our marriage. And there were people who at that time, and maybe still, said, Val, why are you with him? You shouldn't be with him. But here's the thing. He cheated first, but I cheated also. So I couldn't hold against him what I turned around and did myself.
Amen.
Now, when I initially said, well, I did it because you did it because I was hurt and I was lonely and all this and yada, yada, yada. But that's just a load of crap, basically, because cheating is a decision. We make a conscious decision when we cheat. It doesn't just happen. You don't just walk down the street and somebody's penis falls into your vagina. You make a conscious decision. There are things that lead up to the act itself, whatever that act is, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's sexual, whatever it may be. And, Frank and I, my husband's name is Frank, we were actually separated on 3 separate occasions. We came close to divorce on at least 2 occasions. But, being a woman of faith, I sensed that God did not want me to end my marriage. I was kind of pissed off when it happened because at that point, from that point until the time we reconciled was at least 3 more years. Our last separation lasted for 6 years. We were separated. So I'm just glad at this point that I didn't follow through with the divorce. I'm glad that I trusted God. God is smarter than me. He knows more than me. He can see further than I can. He can see further than any of us can. So I'm just glad that I listened to God, and I call our marriage now something the Lord made, because I never thought that we could have the quality of our relationship that we have right now. I never thought we'd have the type of marriage that we have right now. And I trust my husband completely, and he trusts me. And only God can do something like that.
Yes. Valerie, I love what you're saying right now. I really do. You give me hope. You truly do. I believe in the sanctity of marriage. I truly do. And if God willing, me and my ex-wife decide to work it out, I'm gonna dedicate that to you. Because I really believe what you're saying. I've always had that mindset, and that was big. That was from me watching my parents through my childhood. My parents had they're old school. My father was a lot older than my mother. He died at 87. My mom's 66 right now. So you do the math. They're many years apart. So I watched a lot of function and dysfunction and love all in one shot. And when I got married, I said this was it. I remember crying at my wedding. I'll never forget. I cried with my ex-wife. I still call her my wife too. You see that? But I cried when she walked down that aisle. I did, and I took my vows very seriously. And when work took priority in her life, I felt like she was neglecting her vows to me, and I just felt like I wasn't receiving the same in return. Now, we're not going to make this a counseling session, but one thing I did pick up that you just said, Valerie, was you chose to stay together, and you're right. When you cheat, it's a choice. You can choose to cheat or you can choose to stay together. And I thank God for your decision, because you just enlightened me today. I could have chose either way. I could have chose to stay together and fight it. I could have chose to cheat. I could have chose to divorce her. I chose to divorce. You get what I'm saying? We all have a choice to make. And whatever that choice is, we got to live with it. We cannot take that baggage into a new relationship. We got to deal with us first before we go into the new. And like I said, if it's out between me and the old Mrs. Chavis, I'm going to dedicate that to you, because that's a choice that we both would have to make based off of what we've been through. So thank you.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something, my brother. One thing I've learned in my almost 65 years is to never say never.
Never.
Always
not in my vocabulary.
Always leave space for the Holy Spirit of God to do his thing. And that's all
Jesus'
I can say about that.
Yes.
Well, Richard, I'm gonna give you some double encouragement. The show is not about me, but I've been married 39 years, and we had infidelity in our marriage too, and we chose to stay. So if you and old Miss Chavis get back together,
that's a choice to stay.
Doubly encouraged. 39
That's
years
right.
from one couple and 40 from the other.
Amen. I will definitely, Dr. Danita. Thank you. Yes.
All right. So we had started talking about Gianna. Did you have a story you wanted to share?
My little petty high school cheating relationship.
No, all of it counts. No, all of it counts. All of it counts. Look, no experience is low. No experience is low experience.
Yes, I'm gonna fight on until I can't fight no more.
No experience is low.
Oh boy. So so Valerie, you started talking about there are differences. Well, Valerie and Richard, you were saying that, there are different types of cheating. So
Yeah.
there is emotional connections, there's
Oh
porn,
yeah.
there's virtual cheating, there's sexting, and
Yeah.
so, it just runs the gamut. And so when you think about all the different types of cheating, Gianna, does one matter to you? Would one hold heavier, hold weightier than the other?
I definitely think emotional cheating is harder for me because, like,
Yeah.
what didn't I do, or why couldn't you confide in me, or why couldn't you come to me, or why couldn't you, love me, or what did I do to not, show you those things? But I also think if a person, I personally think if a person cheats, it's deeper than the woman or man they're with. It's something that happened
Oh yeah.
in their childhood, trauma,
Yes.
neglected, not shown the right way or how to be loved, and then it just slowly starts to go into the relationship. So I think emotional cheating is harder for me because you emotionally gave yourself to someone else and you didn't come to me. You know what I'm saying? So emotional.
Yes. Yes.
And that is the, statistically speaking, that is the cheating that hurts women the most. Most women
Absolutely.
say emotional cheating is harder, and then men will say having a sexual relationship is harder. Do
It's
you
harder.
Dr.
agree?
Danita, isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic that that is the case?
Yes.
Because women, you said this statistically, women believe that like sexual cheating is worse. Men believe that sexual cheating is worse. Well, guess
Yes.
what? Men cheat because they are mostly missing what women are supposed to be getting.
No, 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 no.
Yeah,
Oh, no, don't
Wait
go
it
a
could be
there.
the
minute.
it could
Don't
be
go
the
there,
simplest.
Richard.
It could be the
Don't go
simplest
there.
thing.
Listen, I'm about to jump through this camera.
It could be the simplest thing. Listen, if you're with
No,
somebody
I
and you come
disagree.
home and you just want to say, "Hi, honey, how you doing? How was your day?" And to her, that's just like you're brushing her up. No, I'm not brushing you up. I want to literally know how your day was. Hey, can I get a hug? Can I get something? But you pushing me away. That's
But Richard,
emotional.
okay,
What's that?
I have to speak up on that. I have to.
Open my mind. I'll receive it. Open my mind. Let me see it from a different perspective because I'm lost.
Cheating and this is what happens sometimes when there is an affair within a relationship. The person who's cheated on will initially look at themselves and think, what's wrong with me? What was I not providing? But really and truly, cheating is all about the cheater and what is missing inside of them that they make the choice to go out and cheat. It's not because their spouse is in
And
love.
that's where
It's not
that's
because
where
their
I'm
spouse
beginning my
didn't have
statement.
sex with them. Go
That's
ahead,
where
say
I'm
that.
beginning my statement, Valerie. That's where I'm beginning my statement. Not off the fact that the guy already cheating, the guy getting ready to cheat. That's the perspective I'm coming from. Because if I'm expecting and if I'm expecting to feel like a feel not feel like a man, but just feel like she got me, like I got
Yeah,
her. Like I'm
yeah,
not cheating on you. I'm not cheating on you. One thing I can tell you, the main reason I never thought of cheating on my wife was because at the end of the day, she loved her kids, she loved her husband, just work came first. That was the only thing. You get what I'm saying? But if I had a woman that was just going all the time, not calling me, not trying to check up on and see what's going on at the house while you in Afghanistan, so if it was that type of situation, I would have been out there just having a ball. I would have been out
yeah.
there having a ball because I would be like, oh no, you out there doing your thing because you're not even giving me a sense of do you care? You
So
get what I'm
See,
saying?
Richard, and
Richard, but even in that scenario, it's all about you and the choice you make. Because at the end of the day,
right.
we do have a choice. The Bible tells us that God will make a way of escape in 1 Corinthians 10:13. He gives us a way of escape. And sometimes that escape is improving the communication within your own relationship. So cheating comes down to the decision of the cheater, not
Okay.
necessarily because their partner is not providing something that may create a negative atmosphere and help to
Right.
explain it. However, at the end of the day, we make the choice.
Okay.
Right. And
I
so
agree with that.
in addition to that, the we making the choice could be, this is not working. we should go get
Right.
help. The choice could be, this is not working, we need to end this. You don't have
Right.
to begin another relationship and go into the cheating before you make it right, or before you
Absolutely.
attempt to make it right.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree with that, Dr. Nita, but sometimes it's just easier because even
Yes.
though the spouse feels like, okay,
Quick
he or she is
satisfaction.
not providing these things, they are
Right.
thing, and that something is what they want to hold on to while they go out in the street
It's
and do
immediate
whatever.
gratification. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of getting on. And I just want to get to Joanna real quick. Let me tell you, you need to speak because you are in that phase, that beginning phase, and it's a lovely phase. It's that bubblegum phase. But I'm gonna tell you, I don't want your bubblegum to pop. So whatever you're feeling right now, like you're saying, and it won't, because you already talking about it. And that I praise you for it. When I was your age, I wasn't talking about it, and my bubble got popped.
That's
but
right.
you're talking about it. So you already know from hearing from two perspectives that are older, that's been through one divorce, one still married, one who's gone through infidelity and made it work. You can see now that it's a possibility you can get through any obstacle that you go through. Your 4 years is a great deal. Don't minimize that. It's a great deal because you've made it 4 years and already you're asking the questions. You're already asking the questions. And that's good.
Yeah,
Gianna,
that's right. Go ahead, Gianna.
Counseling is not an option. Not going to counseling is not an option.
That's a deal breaker.
That's right. I wish I had that mindset.
Deal breaker.
Yes. I agree with that. Not going to counseling before we get married, before someone gets married, that alone should be a deal breaker because if a person is not willing to go to counseling before they get married, they're not willing to deal with their issues. And if they're not willing to deal with their issues before they get married, they sure enough ain't going to deal with them after they get married.
That's right. Counseling is my best friend. It is. Especially when you work in the mental health field, you're dealing with everybody else's energy. Oh yeah, I go to the therapist at least once a week. And I'll be like, hey, listen, I'll be just alone in my bag. And they just sit there and listen and they give me my responses. They don't give me the responses I want to hear. They give me the responses I need to hear. And it's healthy for me because now not only when I'm dealing with my clients, but when I'm dealing with people and in relationships, I know now I can hear you from another side now because I know at the end of the day, this is not going to sink into me. It is not going to make me. It's going to just build me. So I'm going to take what you got. I'm going to go dish it off to this therapist at the end of the week. And I'm going to try to live the best life I can by being the best person I can be.
I hear you, brother.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that one of the reasons why people say they could never go back is because it's been said that if you could cheat on me, then you didn't really love me from the beginning. What are your thoughts about that?
It's not true.
I don't think that's true.
Mm-mm.
No, I don't think that's true because you can love someone just like you can love someone and do other hurtful things. You can love someone and cheat on them as well. That doesn't mean you don't love the person. You may not love yourself by making that choice, but it does not mean that you don't love your partner.
That's right. First of all, you can't hate anybody that you don't have the capacity to love. You have to love someone to hate them. You have to love someone to hate them. So to me, that doesn't even register because if I have the capability of hating you, I love you. I love you.
I agree with the word capacity. Love comes with capacity, and everyone doesn't have the same level of capacity to love, in a way that would be healthy. And so people come to marriage, dealing with or being able to handle what they can handle. And so, so if you don't have the capacity, that's why counseling is really important, premarital counseling, because it can be determined in premarital counseling what your level of capacity is.
Absolutely. And something else I realized, Dr. Danita, is that there are so many people who they don't know what love is.
Right.
No.
They don't know what love is. They don't know what real, genuine, unconditional love looks like. So, they have someone and they say they vibing, or they may have good sex or some other thing may be going on and they think that that's love.
Yeah.
Are they really in love? Do they really love the other individual? They don't understand what it is to really and truly love someone. When you love someone, that means that you are going to put their needs ahead of your own. That means you're going to look out for them. That means you're going to have their back no matter what. Especially when you get married.
Yes.
When you say those vows for better or worse, how worse do you think it's going to get? How much of the worst are you able to deal with? Do we even realize what those vows mean when we say for better or for worse? We hear the better, but we ain't trying to hear that worse.
You ain't trying to hear the worse, and you ain't trying to hear the sickness.
Ain't trying to
you
hear
ain't
the
trying to
sickness.
hear the poorer.
That's right.
And then,
that's right.
I hear where you're going with that, because like we don't even know love until we really love ourselves too. Right. We gotta love ourselves. How do you know to love somebody if you don't even have respect for yourself? If you out there cheating and sleeping with everybody, you don't love yourself. Right. You don't love yourself. You trying to fill a void that's within you from somebody else. And I'm gonna be honest with you, no other person can fill a void other than Jesus Christ, and he ain't a person. Absolutely. But ain't nobody gonna fill no void in you. So fill that void in you for you to be able to feel sufficient enough to live a life. You shouldn't even need that. So if you can't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else? So what y'all said, I totally agree. Right. You cannot love you. A lot of people don't know how to love another person. They don't know. They only know from their own perspective. And if they don't love themselves, they ain't gonna love you.
The other thing is you don't really know that you love until you hit the obstacles, because love is a choice. So when you first get into that relationship and you're on cloud 9, it is so easy to love. Who can't love on cloud 9?
Yes. I remember there was one thing I heard my pastor, Dr. Darius Daniel, say one time in a sermon, is that love demands a choice.
Yep.
If your love has never been faced with where you have to make a choice between the so-called object of your affection and something else, is it really love? Your love hasn't been tested.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And untested love, you have to question, is it really love? So I agree with you, Dr. Danita. It's easy to love when everything is going well. Mm-hmm. When there are no issues, when there are no problems, when there is no pain, when there is no strife, when there is no conflict. But when those things come up, can you hang in there? That's the question. And for me, I have to filter that through my position as a Christian, as a woman of God, because I always ask, and that's one of the things that helped me in my relationship to be able to stay after the infidelity, is to recognize the unconditional love that God has for me, and recognizing how I have sinned against God even more than my husband has sinned against me, but God still loves me. Mm-hmm. So for me, I feel everything through that.
Yes. And shout outs to Darius Daniels. I love him. That's not my pastor. Pastor Furtick, Stephen Furtick is my pastor. But they know each other very well, so that's awesome. Yeah. What I want to share is the love that you, I was saying back earlier that the love that you have for yourself is the love that you should reflect to other people. Yeah. And knowing what love is for yourself is love for another person. But I am a strong believer that if you were brought up in an environment that displayed love in the way that you know it, it's difficult for you to be in a healthy relationship. And do you continue? Yeah. My question is, do you continue on with trying to continue to have relationships and pretty much hitting bumps and rocks and messing somebody else up just so you can get yourself right? Or do you just stay? Do you just stay and work it out with the person that you're with and pray that they catch up to where you're at? That's where my...
Yeah. And then, that's a good question. And that's something that each person has to answer for themselves in a relationship. Do I stay, or do I go and look at maybe potentially having another relationship?
Yeah. I don't want to say at the end of the day that
people have different levels of convictions as it relates to what that covenant really means. And so based on your conviction to what your covenant means, will determine how
Yeah.
much you stick in there and work on it.
Yeah,
And
I
what
don't
you're
want to
Yeah.
willing.
drag somebody
Yeah.
else through. I don't want to
Yeah.
drag somebody
And
else through.
I think that's very good, Dr. Danita, about what someone's understanding about the covenant, because I mean, until I really understood love from a biblical perspective, I didn't have a clear understanding what love really was.
Right.
I didn't have healthy relationships that demonstrated healthy love when I was growing up. So I didn't
Mhm.
have anything to base it on. So cultivating my own relationship with my heavenly father and having that love and understanding love from the word of God has helped me to be able to love unconditionally, not just my husband, but also my children, my
Mhm.
family members, my friends, just love in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a question that is posted on our on the social media page in reference to second chances. There was a video that was posted about forgiveness, and so where do we stand as it relates to forgiveness? Where does forgiveness come in as with cheating, and do you believe in second chances? Sounds like, well, obviously, Valerie, you believe in second chances because you you gave the second and
Second,
third chance.
third, fourth.
Yeah, third and fourth, right?
My greatest hope is for second chances. I have not experienced
Yes.
them, so but I believe that they exist. So
Yeah.
um, even if it's not with the intended person that I went through the struggle with the next person, I believe that I have grown from my previous experiences and that I can move forward
Yes.
confidently in a new relationship and not take baggage from the past.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I
I
believe that's the
agree. I
best
mean,
part.
What
may I
about you?
share something real quick?
Okay.
So, there was something, and I know this is going to sound strange to a whole lot of people, but I was taking a particular class, um, and it was on Christian counseling, and I can't even remember what the subject matter was, but in the midst of that class, I felt so convicted that, Val, you gotta go and apologize to your husband. I heard God so clearly, and I didn't want to do it. Why? We were separated at the time, and he was involved in a full-fledged affair with someone else. And I argued with God throughout that whole class, but I knew that I knew that I knew God wanted me to do that. We were separated. I left class. I went over to my husband's apartment, and I sat in front of him, and I apologized. I apologized for the part I played in our marriage
Mm.
being where it was. And he sat there looking at me like I had two heads because it caught him way off guard. And he said, Val, what are you apologizing for? I'm the one that's cheating. I said, yes, you are. However, I played a part in it. I contributed to that. And I just want you to know that I am very, very sorry. Got up, left, and brought my behind on home. And
Mhm.
something like that, you talk about forgiveness. I mean, that's a hard thing to do. And also recognize and to be that culpable, accept responsibility, and to be that vulnerable in that moment when he got a whole girlfriend cross town.
Yes.
But I did it because I wanted to be obedient to the word of God. I wanted to be obedient to the voice of God.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's very hard to do. That's very hard to do. To take accountability not only for yourself, but take accountability to what you've done to contribute to the situation. Because we all play a part. We definitely do.
Yes, we do.
Our goal in life, I believe, is to truly love God and love people. I like the way you're talking, Valerie. I really do. It's love God, love people. And if you could just get that, it's a song too. I can't remember who sings it, but it sticks to me every time I hear it because it's like everything that we'll encounter in life, whether it be for relationships, whether it be with just oneself or with a higher being, we all need to have love for one another so that we can at least process the trauma, the experiences, and know that it has a greater purpose. By you taking accountability and saying that, hey, listen, I played a part, you are truly building not only his character and his morals, but your own. And I respect that.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Gianna speak in a minute, but Valerie, you said something. Well, both of you talking about taking responsibility. There's a curriculum that I use when there's infidelity in the marriage, and it's called Torn Asunder, and that's a
yes, I have that.
yeah, that's a very difficult. Early in the book, it asks, for both partners to share what their responsibility, and it's very difficult for the victim, so to speak, to be able to get to the place to say, because when you weigh sins, or when you weigh things that took place in the marriage, infidelity is always going to weigh heavier.
Heavier.
And so it's very difficult to get the victim to a place where they can say, I really did have a part, not in the decision that was made, but I had a part in the downfall of the marriage.
Right.
I don't want to say that that's across the board, because you have people out there that are sex addicts. You could be the best wife ever, and if they're a sex addict, they're a sex addict. Period. They haven't dealt with this stuff. So you can love a person and do the things in healthy ways that still may end up in a cheating situation. Of course, if you're healthy, you probably wouldn't have attached yourself to a sex addict, but that's another
topic. That is so true. Yeah, that is so true, Dr. Danita. I agree with you 100%, because sometimes we make relationship choices from a place of pain and brokenness.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. But I was gonna have. It was something that what did I ask about? Second chances. Right.
I do believe in second chances, and I believe it comes with like y'all all said such great things. That I agree. Like there's not much. The one person who's not married. Well, I'm not married, so
well, let's just say you are.
Chances, huh?
Let's just say you are married, and your spouse cheated on you.
Okay. If I was married, I do believe in second chances. I believe, that prayer works. Prayer is prayer is cold. Yes, it's essential. It's cold. It's
Jesus' name.
Yes, just rededicating our relationship, ourselves to the Lord, and then getting the proper help to eventually overcome what we went through. So second chances may sound cliche to most, but I definitely do believe in second chances. And if I was ever in that predicament or situation, I would, for the sake of love, like Valerie said, not the choice love, but the love, I would.
Yeah. And I believe we are all.
I mean, that's coming from someone who is not married. Most young adults who have not entered into the marriage bond would definitely say, nah, I'm not. I wouldn't be giving anybody no second chances. So that's mature.
Old me probably would have
very mature.
Get kicked to the curb, but the new me.
But but the thing is, I said that too before I got married. I said that before I was faced with it. That's why I say never, because until you are actually faced with the situation, you can kind of guess how you may respond to it, but you really don't know until you really are actually faced with that situation.
Right.
That's right.
So we're coming to the end of our episode, and wow, I mean, this has been a very, very, very good conversation, very informative, and I thank you for sharing and being very vulnerable and transparent in your sharing. So I wanted to know if you had some suggestions. Now, you all happen to love God and have relationships with God. The show isn't necessarily a Christian show. So if you were going to give suggestions to people who are finding themselves in making decisions, they're in a decision-making process with maybe having been cheated on, or, trying to determine whether they can give their heart to trust like that. What kind of suggestions would you give to just generally to general population?
Seek help.
Yeah, I would say. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Was somebody else speaking? Because I don't want to talk over anyone.
I said seek help. That's That is all.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say number one, do not make any decisions immediately regarding the relationship or whether you're going to stay or whether you're going to go. Take some time between when you discover the infidelity and you're making decisions about your relationship. I would also say surround yourself with your support system, and not your if you're a woman, not your sister girls who are going to kind of co-sign and stroke your pain, but those who are going to really, really be there to support you, your partner, and your relationship. And I would also say to realize that if you make the decision to stay together, it's going to require a lot of help, a lot of work, and it's not going to be easy, but it's worth it. And like my sister Gianna said, get professional help.
Yeah.
And my advice would be to weigh your pros and cons thoroughly. I don't mean sit there and dissect what the other person did, pros and cons. I mean really take a look at yourself and the relationship as a whole, and see where you can grow from it, and where you can leave things where they kind of leave things off, get them off the slate. Period. You don't want to be in a relationship that is going to take from you. You want a relationship that's going to give to you in any capacity, whether that's pain, whether it's love. You want it to be able to give something to you that can grow you and make you a better person. So seek the help, weigh your pros and cons, and definitely get a good group of people around you that's going to support both of you, not just you.
Right.
Yeah. I like, Valerie, what you said initially. You said don't make a decision right away. Decisions made based on your emotions can be disastrous.
Yes. Yes,
And
absolutely.
so definitely,
Absolutely.
Taking that time so that you can think rationally and have someone help you think rationally. When you're in pain like that, you won't be able to necessarily think rationally without having someone help you to process through. And so that would be, absolutely essential, not to make decisions based on your emotions. And a lot of people do. And then they end up regretting the decisions that they made. So it sounds like tonight what we have come to the conclusion here tonight. It may not be what everyone on the live believes, but so far my guests, we have decided that cheating does not have to be a deal breaker at any level.
That's right.
That it can be worked through with the right, with the proper help, with the right decision, with the right heart. It can be worked through. Anything can be worked through. It doesn't have to be a deal breaker. So we leave that encouragement with you who may be, at that place of processing through. We will say absolutely a good therapist can help. I always give my clients, I say hope equals, I say to my clients, hope equals way power plus weight power plus, now I forgot what I say. So I tell them that they have to have knowledge. They have to have, what is it? They have to have knowledge. They have to have the fortitude, and they have to be willing to wait. And that equals hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in counseling, they get the knowledge. They have to be willing to stick it out while they're working on it. And if they choose to work on it with the knowledge that they're giving and stick it out, hope is at the end. Finally, I got it out.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you again. Thank you again for joining me on tonight. This was a great conversation. If you joined late on the live, please remember to like and share. This is a conversation that I know can help many of the people that you may be friends with, or some of your family members, because statistically speaking, unfortunately, a lot of people do deal with cheating. And so again, thank you so much, Richard. Thank you, Valerie. And
Thank you.
thank you, Gianna.
Thank you. Thank
Have
you.
a
Thank
Thank
great
you.
you.
evening, everyone.
Yes, you too. God bless.
All right. Good night.
Good night.